Hey everybody, Andy McNamara with you at a Sportsnet look at the NFL schedule release adjusted win totals, over-under. So this is the time as soon as the schedule was released officially by the NFL Thursday, the sports books in Vegas and elsewhere, they went to work adjusting those win totals because we knew the opponents, we just didn't know when and how, what time these matchups were going to take place, whether they're back-to-back road games, home stretches, whatever the case might be. So I want to take a look at some of the adjusted win totals and where you can lay some smart money down looking at this point in the season. So many variables we know, is the season going to start on time, etc. But as things are, the NFL is expecting games to begin with the September 10 kickoff between the Chiefs and the Texans. So let's go on that assumption. Get me on Twitter at AndyMC81. Any questions? Let me know your sure bets for over-under win totals. One that jumps out to me, Tennessee Titans set at 8.5. Not the sexiest team, right? They're efficient, they grind it out. They always seem to finish at 9-7, which is dangerous because one thing goes wrong, all of a sudden you're hitting that under. But I'm looking at that division and I'm thinking, all right, they can hit 9. They can hit 9-7, even if they grind it out, even if Tannehill isn't as good as he was before, even if Derrick Henry gets worn down a little bit, they should be able to hit 9. So I'm pretty confident in that 9 win mark. I'll also have up on sportsnet.ca, it's going to be up now, my article about this, and I'll run through some of the 8 top teams that I think, as far as win total adjustments, are sure bets, and go through every single team and tell you the over or under where I think their wins are going to end up at the end of the 2020 season. So hit the Titans there. The Miami Dolphins, another team, over under 6. Now this is tricky because you look at how is that quarterback situation going to go. If you roll Ryan Fitzpatrick the whole year, I think they might be able to hit 6 wins. And it's a case where they had a lot of adjustments. I felt they had a really good draft, solidified that backfield, bringing in Matt Breida along with Jordan Howard there. So they've gotten better. If you go with Tua though, if there's injuries, there's a lot of little nuances to think about when it comes to the Miami Dolphins. So the 6 total, I'm probably going to hit under. I don't know if I would touch this one at all, but if I had to, I would probably lean under. 6 seems just about right to me. If you look at a few others, the Houston Texans, 7.5 is the over-under for the win total. And Bill O'Brien, I just wonder what network he's going to be an analyst for next season because of the horrible job he's done over the last couple of years. You trade DeAndre Hopkins for nothing. And I don't mean that as a disrespect to David Johnson. He's a fine rotational running back at this point in his career. What are you doing? Right? Like, it's going to be all Deshaun Watson. You have a bunch of receivers who are injury plagued. The 7.5, this team is looking 7-9 to me. I think they're too good to get too much lower than that. I'll take a slight under. But again, that's a team I might want to stay away from. Some clubs I really want to pounce on when we're looking at over-under totals. Chicago Bears, set at 8.5 wins. I am sprinting to the virtual betting window, and I'm taking the under for the Chicago Bears. So you're telling me that the Bears, whose offseason moves were bringing in Nick Foles, creating a quarterback controversy. I'm not saying Mitch Trubisky's the real deal or anything, but you're saying, all right, hey, Foles is probably taking this. You guarantee money and a no-trade clause to Jimmy Graham, tight end, at this point in his career, he hasn't been the same guy for, 3-4 years? You draft Cole Kmet out of Notre Dame, best offensive tight end, but that's not a move to win now. And it wasn't that long ago, 2 years? Where the Bears were a double doink away from a missed field goal from winning a playoff game. They just don't seem to be coming and going. And the NFC North specifically is really interesting with these win totals coming out that the sports books are laying. So I'm going to take under on the Bears. Receivers are okay. What are they doing in the running game? It just seems Matt Nagy doesn't seem to be coming or going right now. So I'm going to take under on 8.5 for the Chicago Bears. You look at the Detroit lines out of this at 6.5. I'm feeling 6 wins, maybe 5. Now, Matt Stafford being back is huge. He hasn't been able to stay healthy the last couple of years. Matt Stafford being there can still play at a high level and he still has a whole lot of weapons. Can he do it? Matt Patricia. It seems like they're going real committee based in that backfield, which is okay. Fantasy football wise, it's a disaster in Detroit. If Stafford can stay healthy, I'll take the over. Division's tough. I'm not feeling it for the Detroit Lions. I think Matt Patricia and staff might get canned after this season too, so I'll take the under on the Detroit Lions. But where I really find value here is for the Minnesota Vikings. I'm just looking. Over-under set at 9. So you think they had 10 wins last year. I feel they had, out of that division, and arguably the whole draft. I think the Minnesota Vikings might have won the draft. Think about it. You trade Stephon Diggs to the Buffalo Bills, disgruntled receiver, right? You get a first-round pick. You replace him with Justin Jefferson, a little bit bigger, he's fast, great hands, and you can mold him to pair with Adam Thielen, who's been a little injury-prone. Love it. And don't be shied away from the Minnesota Vikings when they, it's only 2 receivers. That offense by Gary Kubiak is primarily 2 receiver sets because they focus on the tight end and the running game. So you have Dalvin Cook, you have Kyle Rudolph, Irv Smith as the 2 tight end sets. That's what they look to do. So you don't use a lot of 3 wideout sets, so that's okay. Then what happened? A bunch of cornerbacks left in free agency. You get Jeff Gladney in the draft, one of the top 2 corners to replace. Then you had depth and athleticism in a swing tackle in Ezra Cleveland. So I just feel from a team building perspective, the Vikings got so much better than what they were and just freshened things up a little bit with Kirk Cousins. So I'm going to go over on 9 wins, primarily too. They played the Bears twice. I don't think they're going to be very good. Play the Lions twice. I don't think they're going to be very good. And the Packers, that's the other side of this one. The Green Bay Packers over-under set at 9.5. You know what, folks? I'm taking the under. I think that this team, with Matt LaFleur, the front office, they sent a message that, okay, we have Aaron Rodgers for now, but we did not make moves to win now, to get better right now. Anytime you have Aaron Rodgers in at quarterback and he's healthy, you have a chance to go to the conference championship game. Let's be real. Okay? You have a chance to go deep in the playoffs because Aaron Rodgers is a future Hall of Famer. Now, do I begrudge them for Brett Favre'ing Aaron Rodgers? The same thing that happened to Favre when Rodgers came in. It's Jordan Love. Different points in their career. Favre was kicking around retirement. Rodgers isn't there. But I can forgive that if they think, okay, Jordan Love is our guy. We're going to sit him for a couple years and go the Aaron Rodgers route again. All right. Then you take a running back in the 2nd round, and that's a luxury pick to me. Did Aaron Jones and Jamal Williams disappear? What happened to them? You need receivers. This is the deepest draft class in 20 years. You have Devontae Adams. He's been banged up a little bit. Well, you're placing money on Geronimo Allison? Like, there's no other clear-cut wide receiver, and that's an offense that needs wide-out help. You had a no-name tight end. So that to me says these were picks, either luxury picks or not picks to really advance things. You had, I think, 3 offensive linemen in a row in the late round. It's just it's such a hodgepodge draft. So I'm going to go under for the Packers. I think there's going to be a lot of dissent in there. Aaron Rodgers can't be happy. He's saying, you got a quarterback, you got an extra running back, you didn't get me a receiver, and what am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to win? So I think there's going to be infighting. There already was some tension going into the year. Vikings, they're going to win that division. So I'll say over for Vikings, under for the Packers. You look at my Cleveland Browns, 8.5. I'm going to be optimistic, folks. I'm going to go over. What scares me a bit in any new coaching staff coming in really is the fact that you're going to have limited off-season programs. It's going to be cut down for sure because of the global pandemic. Going to happen. So implementing systems, but this is a very quarterback-friendly system. Now, Kevin Stefanski worked with the Vikings over the last number of years, and that Gary Kubiak system, which is an evolution and a modification of Mike Shanahan, Kyle Shanahan's father with the 49ers, it's all about play action. It's about utilizing 2 tight end sets. It's having that zone read, that wide zone offensive line, the line moving as a unit, so more athletic linemen, and focus on the running backs to cut to set up the pass. So for the Browns, you have a healthy Odell Beckham Jr. and Jarvis Landry. You added Austin Hooper, who you're looking at a fantasy team, folks. You go get yourself Austin Hooper after the first chunk. 2-3 tight ends go off the board. Get Austin Hooper. He's going to get a ton of targets. You have him with David Njoku. You have Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt in the backfield. Everything is lined up for Baker Mayfield to have a big bounce back season. Tough division. Right? Roethlisberger's back with the Steelers. Joe Burrow's in Cincinnati. You got the Ravens. So I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but the Browns' schedule is lined up. There are chunks of time. They have a set of 3-4 home games in a row around a bye week that they can really make a move there. So I'd say the over for the Cleveland Browns. Let's do one more here where we look at the Carolina Panthers at 5.5. The Panthers here are just getting dumped on. They're borderline rebuilding. Cam Newton, gone. You bring in Teddy Bridgewater. Nice showing with the New Orleans Saints last year. Now, he's had durability issues, we know. You have Christian McCaffrey, big new contract, run CMC, the total package. Raise the Lex Luger running backs. It's a total package. Run, catch, do everything. Don't have to take him off the field. Bridgewater, while certainly not the dynamic athlete that a Cam Newton was, a little bit safer, a little more cautious. They have wide receiver weapons. Could you improve at tight end? Yeah. But I think you have enough. Now, the defense is still a question, but for 5.5 wins, could the Panthers get 6? Could they pop over that? I think so. I think Teddy Bridgewater is enough to get you to a 6-7 win. Sort of a Jacoby Brissett type, maybe an amped up Jacoby Brissett. Enough to get you to the middle. So I really like that 5.5 for the Carolina Panthers. Again, for my full list of over-under win total predictions, check it out at sportsnet.ca. I'll put it on Twitter at AndyMC81. Get the link there, as well as on Instagram at AndyMCSports. So hey, football season hopefully will be here before we know it. Enjoy.